Nice day, perfect weather. About 60 degrees out or close to it. It was a little fast in there, but nothing crazy. Native television stand. It's always nice. People eat garbage. Let's get up here by this log. Here sometimes there's some fish. Not sure if it's worth it today. Got one. Nice. Already. Yeah, nice. Nice fish. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Gotcha. It's not a bad fish. The biggest in the world, but I'll take you. Let's see. There we go, buddy. Get back out there. Alright, so I am using a little fluke, white, yellow tail, and I'll go over that a little bit more in a bit. Nice way to start the day, though. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, I figured I would go ahead and talk a little bit about what I'm using today. I'm out here during late April, and I am specifically targeting spawning bass. So there's going to be pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn bass in the area. Some big fish. Good time of year to catch big fish. Not a good time of year to be harvesting fish. But if you're out there just to really catch some big bass, they're definitely out here. They're in the shallows, and there's a lot of different gear that people use for this kind of thing. I am using kind of my standard smallmouth rod. It is a 6.5 foot, I'm sorry, this is a 6 foot medium action quantum rod, 8-pound test mono on a Garcia reel. Nothing crazy, pretty standard smallmouth setup. You could go a little heavier. You could certainly go, a medium heavy rod would be appropriate, especially for some of these real big fish. I like the shorter length because sometimes I'm moving through brush and kind of some congested areas, and the shorter length gets hung up on less, and I can still cast these things as far as I need to. I don't have any limitations really. In terms of the bait, I spent a whole day using this fluke. I was using the chartreuse-tailed one quite a bit, probably the most. So this one was kind of my go-to. If I got a hit and missed the fish, I would generally switch to this one, which was working pretty good as well. However, there's something to be said for using this during the spawn. So bass do not like sunfish, bluegill. They're one of the main culprits for taking eggs from the nest. And even if they're not in that body of water, there just seems to be something about this chartreuse color that gets them going. And bluegill and sunfish have some of this kind of this luminescent green on them that catches the bass's attention. So I was using this quite a bit today. I didn't switch up from anything else but these flukes. That's not always the case. I'll get into that in just a second. I was using a, I can't remember the size of this hook. It might be size 2 Gamakatsu weedless hook set up. I just go in the standard way, come out, come down, in, rig that thing weedless, and make sure you have a big enough hook. You do not want to underscale it and then have no belly, have no gap. You need a little bit of gap in order for that fish to set a good, get a good hook set. The weight, I don't remember the size, or the actual weight, but it's just your standard. This might be tungsten, might be lead, I can't remember. I'm using a lot of tungsten now, just this is a little better for the environment. But pretty standard setup, but it definitely works. One thing that I will sometimes switch up to, if I'm not going to do a soft plastic, is I'll go with a crankbait or spinner, and that's kind of situation dependent. Typically, I like to fish soft plastics, whether it's tubes, lizards, these flukes, worms, but I do also fish more traditional hardware. your spinners, your top waters, your crankbaits, things like that. A crankbait and a spinner have a special place this time of year if you encounter a bass that is protective of its bed, but it is not willing to actually grab a hold of it. I've experienced this. Sometimes bass will nose bump it, sometimes they'll lip smack it, and that's not always enough to set the hook on a bait like this. Sometimes they just grab the tail, they bump it, and it's not quite enough. They might even open their mouth and just smack it, but you're not always going to get a great hook set. I have encountered this. I did not encounter it today, I don't think. Once any of the fish I lost, I just lost them. I lost the hook set. I felt them maybe for a few seconds, and then I just didn't have enough tension. But today these were working great. In those situations where the bass are not committing to a full bite, that crankbait, that can be a great tool. You got, generally speaking, 6 barbs on a lure. And the spinner bait, it can work as well, especially if it's a compact spinner bait, something they can almost suck in immediately. But the crankbait is what I would switch to in those situations where I'm only getting the fish to really smack the bait, or they're just kind of mouthing it, or some other multi-hooked rig, like a double hooked spinner. If it has a trailing hook, some people rig up a trailing hook on their spinner. But yeah, those are the situations where I would typically use anything but a soft plastic. I would really like these because you bounce around rocks and sometimes logs and stuff like that, and all these beds, and these get hung up at least. So yeah, that's kind of the rig for today. That's what I use. Like I said, you could definitely be out here with a medium heavy action rod, and it wouldn't be overkill. Some of these bass are big. I didn't get any actual numbers for measurement, but I did measure a couple on my rod, and I will, when I get home, I will take the tape measure out and we'll see what it was. I'll have to start bringing out a scale, some sort of small digital scale, and start weighing these fish. Another thing I was trying out today was this new bag. This is a Cast King backpack / sling pack. I like to carry a lot of stuff when I'm bass fishing. When I'm fly fishing, I can get by with a smaller setup for sure, but when I'm bass fishing, I don't like coming out here and not having what I think the bass I might have luck with, or what I think the bass are eating. So I like a bag that I can put a lot of stuff in. So far, this thing's been pretty good. It turns into a backpack. Right now, I've been kind of wearing it as a sling, seeing how that works. I've got 4 trays in here. That one, I've got 4 trays. I don't know the model number. And still able to get some hooks, soft plastics in here. Some of my camera stuff is in here. And just your odds and ends, some matches, sunscreen, compass if I get lost in the woods. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And this thermometer, I do have to take the temperature of the water. I always like to do that. So far, this bag's been pretty good. I've been pretty pleased with it. Yeah, I've researched these for a while, and the Cast King one seemed to be about best value and did what I wanted it to do. All the boxes are in here. I even have room for an additional box of small jigs for real finesse stuff. And I can get a camera stand, and the camera will sit right on top of here. So it's got pretty decent room. I'm pretty impressed with it. But yeah, I think that's going to be it today. I think I caught 8 or 9 fish, 7 or 8 or 9. some of them real big bass. And that's what you can catch this time of year for sure. But you've got to make it out here during the right time, and yeah, you just kind of gotta know where to find them. And if you do, you can have a hell of a good time. But that's it. Thanks for watching the channel, and I will hopefully catch some more big ones soon. Thanks. Bye. Gotcha. That was a snag, not a fish. That would have been a hell of a fish. Another bass. See, this one, not sure what that one's doing. Got one in there. One in there. Big fish. This is a big one. spot's done us pretty good. We're gonna move upstream a little bit. This is a nice, like regular thing. Peckerhead. Gotcha. I missed him. So those are two actively. Probably won't get another shot at that. We'll try. That was interesting. Can't get him to quite take that, huh? Gotcha. Oh man, this thing's big. Whew. All right, big boy. Yeah. Yeah.